back in our own house today, and we're going to be here pretty long too because once she's in lockdown, so you can't cross county lines without good excuse.
Wales, anyway.
And obviously tango is not a good excuse. But plenty of online stuff, including the talk we're giving on Wednesday at sort of international conference about teaching tango online, which apparently we weren't quite good at.
We have achieved a lot in the last however many months.
We have achieved more. We are the only club in Wales doing anything. So today's class we were going to do more tricks and tips for dancing and more spaces, but all our students today were solo dancers, so we concentrated more on solo technique and in particular changing height when dancing. So we've done lots of stuff about styling, but so changing height adds a new dynamic to your dance. It allows you to dance in one space, as you can change height to create a big dynamic without having to actually move forward or back on those other two dimensions. We particularly paid attention to lowering height, because trying to raise your height when you're in heels becomes difficult. But we did do one thing that allows us to do that. So this is the recap. Number 192. So
You didn't open with that today. No one you open with that.
variety is the spice of life, darling. Anyway, where we go? We started off with just stepping forward and just lunging into the step, but we're still keeping our chest forward, so we are still got the forward intention of tango. We don't want to be settling back. We don't want to be doing sort of a weightlifter's lunge where you're sinking down. You're actually sinking through that knee and the back leg is trailing behind. We did point out that when you do this, when you take it to extreme, your knee no longer is in line with the ball of your foot, it overextends. So if you're doing this in a couple, you have to accommodate each other's knees by being slightly offset. We also talked about being able to isolate the chest from this area to get different positions. So quite often you'll see these being done in poses. There's actually one on the fridge over there of Alejandro Nonella from the Tango Hero leaflet, where they're doing a low lunge.
And there's lunge there on Basil Mandes as well.
Yes. So common poses these to do. We talked about ones which, this is more of an Eduardo type one, where we put ourselves into a cross and we go down here. So we're making sure our feet are in line. Weight is still only on one foot. We're still keeping our chest reasonably forward. We can do isolations, but we can also wiggle while doing this sort of stuff. So as we say, very Eduardo-ish. But we can also do little decorations where we send the foot out and tweak and keep it down to doing this sort of ideas. Obviously, when we do side steps, we can lunge down, and we've got the foot trailing behind, which allows us to do calcetas and planeos. We can also do little decorations while we're down. We can go straight down from and let the leg extend in front, and this is the same if you go from across, you go down, so forward, front cross, and you get this extension in front. And because you've got, when you go down, you have a lower centre of gravity, which means you can move the chest slightly more forward, which means now you can lead the follower into these fins. We discussed how this can be used as a nice way to start a dance if you don't know who you're dancing with. So when you're dancing with somebody you've never danced with before, you go into an embrace. The embrace may not be entirely comfy, so you need to adapt normally. So going straight into a forward walk can be a bit awkward, so you have no idea about the follower's projection and how she can react. Going backward is a bad idea because you pull the follower into you, which isn't particularly comfy.
And there might be somebody behind you.
There might be somebody behind you. So normally we teach a sideways step, which allows you to adapt your embrace and feel how your follower moves. However, you can also do this with some lunges. So if we just lower our height down, we can do little motions which just see how your follower moves. It allows you to adapt your embrace as well if it wasn't quite perfect to begin with or to your liking. Then so there's a lot of stuff about technique involved in this class. We also did going up, so we talked about going up makes it more difficult to balance because you've got a higher centre of gravity. We talked about it from a ballet point of view and a show dance point of view, where you can do extra layers and try and create nicer lines, which are not really suitable for social dancing or milongas. But one thing you can do is if you do go up, you can do little steps forward, which can be a part of a little decoration out of ochos, or they can be used in milonga as well. And they're just a little bit nicer than just doing them flat. You can do them flat as well, but it just adds a little bit to your dancing to be able to do that. So, it's a very different class today, very solo orientated, very stylistic, very personal choice. But there are things you can do in tango. You'll see this a lot in show dance and changes of height just to create a visual effect, but there's no reason why you can't put them into social dancing to create something a bit different as well.
It's really good for your musicality as well, really using music where it's swelling to go from a down to an up and then back down again, or back down to a natural position.
Anyway, thank you for watching. As always, please like the Facebook page. We're getting about 100 views a week on these videos, so if you are watching this and you haven't liked the page, please do. Please like our YouTube channel if you're watching it on YouTube. Please subscribe. The more subscribers you get, the more content we can put out, the more people we can reach, the more people we can encourage into tango.
You get to 1,000, we can go live apparently. Yeah. I learned that this week.
So yes, please subscribe, please share it, and hope you're keeping safe, and we will see you next week. Thank you for watching this Urban Tango Nights recap. If you like these videos, please subscribe to our channel by clicking the logo. You can find more of our class summaries down here and other videos of us dancing tango over here. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Meetup. Links are in the description below, and you can also subscribe to our newsletter using the link below.